Hello and welcome to the Official Watches YouTube channel. Here at Jardin du Mayfair, heaven on earth for the watch enthusiast, I have an extremely special RM to show you this week. It's just a very quick note to say, please do hit subscribe. My tech team tell me up to 70% of my viewers aren't subscribed. If you could just hit that button, it would mean the world to me. This is the Richard Mille RM6501 automatic winding split-second chronograph. When a brand that specialises in complicated chronographs announces that they're releasing their most complicated chronograph yet, you can bet that something special is coming your way. This is exactly what happened in 2020 when RM announced the RM6501 split-second chronograph, a truly spectacular Rattrapante chronograph, and is a regular production model rather than a limited edition. This isn't to say that it is readily available though, because RM's production numbers are so low at approximately 5,000 watches a year across the board. So the existence of the 6501 isn't capped at 500 pieces, for example, but you can bet that there are only few around. Why? Because the movement took the brand 5 years to develop. The RMA C4 in-house calibre, which powers this particularly beautiful piece. Rattrapante translates from French to catch up. It's a chronograph system that allows you to measure two separate events at the start at the same time, but they have different endpoints. Example, the first and second times in a race. It does this by using an additional seconds hand superimposed above the original. So when you start the chronograph, both hands begin to move at the same time. At the press of a button, the second hand on the top can be stopped while the second hand on the bottom continues to move. This allows you to record the time of the first event while the second event continues to be monitored. If you want to resume timing the second event, press the same button again and the top second hand will catch up with the bottom second hand. And both of them will continue to move together. This catching up mechanism is what gives the Rattrapante chronograph its name. On the 6501, the chronograph buttons are at the top right, start or stop. Top left is to activate or stop the Rattrapante, that's the split seconds element, and bottom right to reset the count entirely. It's very intuitive and easy to use and set up. It's actually easier to use than it is to explain. The crown conceals a couple of tricks as well and uses a pusher which is mounted into it to act as a function selector. Pressing this button switches the operation of the crown between winding, date setting and time setting and correlates to the function selector window on the bottom right of the dial, which an arrow points to your selection whenever you actuate the crown button. W is for wind, D is for date and H is for hours to set the time. The open-worked dial is flawlessly executed and showcases a riot of colour. This isn't just decorative though, despite invoking an F1 cockpit layout. The colours used all denote and link to functions of the watch. Red relates to winding. Note the red band on the crown matches the red W on the function indicator, and also matches the red winding button located at 8 on the left hand side of the watch. This winding button is pressed to quick wind the watch. 125 presses and the watch is wound from dead to full. A very cool and of course patented trick from Richard Mille. Their engineers describe the rapid winding mechanism as very playful, which is highly accurate since behind every watch lover there's a kid in a candy shop just dying to press all the buttons. In this context, a big red button is the perfect temptation and I love them for it. Green relates to the date. Green band on the crown, green date window and green D on the indicator. Orange is linked to the chronograph pushers and hand tips, with blue denoting the Rattrapante pusher and hand tips. Contrasting colours have been used to differentiate between standard and split-second measurement. Yellow is for standard timekeeping, so you can pick out the hour, minutes and seconds at a glance. Once you get the use of colour and purpose, then the watch becomes remarkably easy to read, use and understand. While the dial is an exercise in colour and impressive skeletonization, the movement visible through the sapphire rear is absolutely no slouch either, with blasted and brushed hand anglage and finishing. Its electroplated and PVD titanium base plates are a really attractive structure that is slightly reminiscent of an alien cityscape. No idea why it invokes that in me, but it does, and I'm all for sharing. You can also see the two weights suspended within the rotor. This is the variable geometry system which can be adjusted to speed up or slow down the winding system to suit the wearer's level of activity. The case is a standard tri-part case comprising of rear and front plates, bolted to the mid case using splines. It's a curved tonneau shape, so although large at 44mm in diameter and 16mm tall, it is 50mm tip to toe but incredibly comfortable to wear, as are all of Richard Mille's offerings regardless of stature. The front and rear gold plates are pink gold, while the mid case is carbon to keep the weight down. A thick and supple rubber strap flares down from within the case and arcs around the wrist with a clasp that snaps harder than an alligator to secure it. All things considered, Mille is a pretty genius at modern watchmaking, and this, in my opinion, is one of their regular production grails. So guys, the meat and potatoes on this watch, it's £235,000 in true official watches fashion, and I'm totally in love with it. If you're a fan of the channel, you will know that pieces of this size make me go wild. So please, guys, if you want to get in touch with me, my WhatsApp number will come up on screen and it's in the description, and I will look forward to talking to you about your watches. If you do enjoy these videos, hit subscribe. It will really support me and the channel, and I'll keep these videos coming fresh and hot every week. Like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you.